Consider this scenario. You arrive at your neighborhood supermarket, anticipating the typical, it feels more like a ghost town than a place with stocked shelves and bustling aisles. Your favorite bag of coffee is gone, the egg cooler is empty, the bread area is half empty, and the flour has entirely disappeared. Not a trace. Doesn't that sound like a scene from an apocalyptic film? In actuality, it's already taking place in several regions of the nation, and prices are increasing more quickly than most of us ever imagined. The unpleasant truth is that food shortages are a reality, and not a what-if. Additionally, you can be caught off guard at the worst possible moment if you're not paying attention. For that reason, I'm going to go over 9 essential grocery items in the next few minutes that you should buy in bulk now, to prevent further shortages. And believe me, you will be taken aback when we reach number 6. I've devoted hours to reading USDA reports, keeping an eye on price spikes in real time, and sifting through unfiltered user posts on Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. What I discovered was troubling. Beef is hitting all-time highs, eggs have doubled in price in certain places, and pantry staples are gradually going extinct without most consumers noticing. The worst part is that it goes beyond the obvious. When supply chains truly start to fall down, some of the things I'll show you might surprise you, but they have the power to make or destroy your pantry. You will have a clear, straightforward shopping list to safeguard both your family and your finances at the end of this session, so stay tuned. While you're here, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Have you ever witnessed ration limitations, empty shelves, or abrupt price increases where you shop? By sharing your story, you might be able to assist someone else get ready before it's too late. Okay, let's get started. First up, 2025's silent gold rush. Fresh eggs. Don't assume that eggs will always be a pretty sight in the grocery store. They are currently the hottest thing in American stores, and this isn't simply hype. A devastating bird flu outbreak has killed millions of hens, slashing the supply virtually immediately, and the outcome, prices that make customers wonder why a single carton costs so much, causing them to double-check the receipt. Egg prices have already reached record highs in early 2025, and have almost doubled in certain places from the previous year. Due to their inability to keep up with the rapidly rising costs, even well-known breakfast businesses like Waffle House are raising the prices of their egg-based dishes. Pictures of empty shelves and shocking price tags are common on social media. Some large grocery stores have even begun to restrict the number of cartons that each customer may purchase. And no, this isn't just a catastrophe movie. It's actually happening in America. In an attempt to address the situation, the government and egg business are currently rushing to import additional eggs, provide relief funds, and enforce stronger farm biosecurity regulations. Although wholesale prices have somewhat decreased from their absolute top, the issue is that it takes months to rebuild chicken flocks, and once a farm has bird flu, it's not as easy as turning off the lights. This implies that egg supply and prices will remain unstable for some time to come. The bottom line is to be wise and stock up while you can. If eggs are a regular part of your life, whether it's for breakfast, baking, or even your favorite coffee recipes, don't wait till your store begins rationing, freeze extras, and don't count on prices to go down again very soon. Waiting could result in double the cost or no payment at all. The second item on our list is shelf-stable proteins, which are the true food for survival. Jerky and tinned meats become indispensable when the cost of fresh cuts of meat skyrockets or completely disappears. In 2024, the meat snack market in the United States was valued at over $4 billion, and it continues to expand. That should tell you that people are realizing the importance of foods that are high in protein and last for a long time. Jerky and canned protein are more than simply nibbles during difficult times. They are the lifeline that keeps you nourished. When times are hard, you're more concerned with surviving than with fancy dinners. Let's face it, proteins that are shelf-stable can help with that. They are filling, light, and don't let you down. For emergency situations, canned meats such as beef stew, tuna, shredded chicken, and Spam were essentially created. When stored properly, they can last 2 to 5 years without losing quality, stack nicely in your pantry, and don't require refrigeration. When grocery shopping becomes dangerous, supply systems break, or prices suddenly skyrocket, that kind of shelf life is revolutionary. The red flags are already present. There is a shortage of canned meat at food pantries around the United States, particularly those that serve vulnerable areas. You don't want to overlook that kind of warning sign. The demand for jerky has skyrocketed worldwide, and those tiny packets of smoky protein suddenly seem like great real estate. There is more to a wise stockpile than simply hoarding the same can over and over again. Variety is important. Stock up on a couple substantial stews for quick dinners when you can't cook, some simple canned meats for flexibility in the kitchen, and jerky for on-the-go high-energy snacks. These aren't sophisticated dining fare. When fresh food is scarce, they provide as a combination of protein, fuel, and morale. The strange thing is that when fresh meat doubles in price and shops are empty, the same individuals who laugh at canned spam now will be the first to wish they had a few tins in the closet. So be kind to yourself. You won't ever have to question where your next protein source is coming from if you stock up now and rotate your cans. Oldest first. Let's change our focus now, because the following one could hit you in the spot where it hurts. Coffee in your regular beverages. The unavoidable silent price increase. Get ready, coffee drinkers. Your morning routine is unconsciously turning into one of your most costly routines. Prices for both roasted and instant coffee increased by almost 12% between May 2024 and May 2025, while the non-alcoholic beverage index as a whole increased by 4%. Those aren't merely figures. Your $5 bag of coffee is getting closer to $9, while premium brands are reaching $15 to $20. Why? The ideal storm. Harvests in Brazil and other major coffee-producing countries were destroyed by bad weather. Shipping delays and import taxes only made matters worse. In early 2025, the price of green coffee beans, the raw material, roughly doubled and reached all-time highs. And guess who bears the expense when roasters pay exorbitant wholesale prices? You. According to government data, the cost of ground coffee increased by an astounding 75% in January 2025, compared to just 5 years prior. People are taking notice. A few consumers are already stockpiling bags of beans in an attempt to secure the current price before the next increase. The worst part is that demand isn't decreasing. Americans will reduce their caffeine use, but not much else. This implies that prices won't just return to their typical level. You must consider storage if you wish to stay ahead. Compared to pre-ground beans, whole beans last longer. Quick coffee, the king of shelf life, is that. Don't forget about other drinks, either. When fresh options are scarce, electrolyte packets, powdered mixes, and bottled drinks suddenly become indispensable. In the short run, every time you go to the register or get a coffee at your favorite cafe, you'll experience sticker shock. In the long run, high prices are the new normal, due to climatic instability and problems with global trade. The wise choice: purchase more now, keep it somewhere dry and cool. When your daily cup doesn't feel like a luxury purchase, your future self will appreciate it. Coffee, however, is only the beginning. Let's discuss beef, the supposedly luxury meat that will soon reach unthinkable prices. Let's discuss beef, the supposedly luxury meat that will soon become even more expensive. In many locations, ground beef is currently already priced at about $6 per pound. What about premium cuts? They are now in the double-digit range. The problem is that you can't just attribute this to seasonal price increases or inflation. This is a result of years of drought, soaring feed prices, and ranchers having to sell livestock to make ends meet. The worst part is that herd reconstruction takes time. It will take around 2 years for a calf born today to be ready for the market. Therefore, even if all American ranchers began replenishing tomorrow, there would still be a shortage until late 2026, if not later. Tyson and other meat-packing behemoths are already reporting losses in their beef businesses. Although they are paying top dollar for cattle, additional factories cannot be built quickly, and there is only so much processing capacity available. Imports. Foreign beef is unreliable due to trade restrictions, disease scares, and tariffs. However, they do help a little. Demand isn't decreasing in the interim. Prices are under pressure because Americans aren't going to give up their steaks or burgers anytime soon. Therefore, it's time to start thinking freezer first if you regularly eat beef. When you find a good deal, buy more ground beef. To extend the shelf life of steaks, vacuum seal them. Additionally, if you want long-term protection, buy canned beef that is shelf-stable. Since beef is moving in that direction, in terms of price, treat it like gold. Let's move on to something less glamorous, but yet very significant. Grains and rice, the calorie kings that you cannot afford to overlook. Take a moment to forget about the upscale gourmet cuisine. The foundation of any major food stash is made up of rice, oats, pasta, and flour. These essentials are what keep you going when fresh meat or veggies are scarce. They are inexpensive, satisfying, and if stored properly, may last for years. There's a reason why any serious prep has tons of carbohydrates piled high in one part of their pantry. The figures are honest. Rough rice stocks in the United States were over 697 million hundredweight as of June 2025, which was 15% more than the previous year. That sounds delicious, doesn't it? But take a deeper look. The world's rice supplies are getting smaller. Output projections are uncertain, and global consumption is rapidly increasing. The same is true of corn. US compared to last year, corn stocks have decreased by 7%. Not quite disastrous, but enough to cause supply chains to tremble. The danger zone is this. Consumers turn to staples when food prices rise, which they already have, as the cost of food at home has increased by 2.4% in the past year. Overnight, the demand for flour, oats, pasta, and rice suddenly increases. A poor harvest, a hurricane, or a disruption in trade can cause shelves to empty in a matter of days. The sensible thing to do, create a blend. Long grain rice for daily consumption. Rice that cooks quickly for emergencies. Oats rolled for baking and breakfast. Strong flour for pizza, bread, and other foods. Don't just buy it and forget it though. Keep your supply fresh by rotating it, replacing it, and eating from it. If the supply chain becomes unstable, a few boxes of pasta and sacks of rice can literally give you weeks of food security. Ignore carbohydrates at your peril. When the rest of your food bill is on fire, they're inexpensive insurance. Here's one that most people ignore, until it's gone. Sweets and sugar, the mood enhancers you'll sorely miss when stores are empty. You see, most people think about rice and beans when we discuss survival. However, candy bars, sugar, and chocolate are more than simply junk food. They are sources of happiness. They lift people's morale during difficult times. Additionally, they are currently subtly becoming more costly. Prices for sugar and sweets increased by roughly 5% in June 2025, compared to the same period the previous year, and another 5% increase is anticipated before the year is over, according to the USDA. Until you consider how frequently sugar infiltrates your everyday life, that might not seem like much. Coffee, baking, easy treats, and even temporarily soothing your children. Why the rise then? Harvests of cane and sugar beet have been severely impacted by bad weather. Imports have been squeezed by trade difficulties. Furthermore, prices are unlikely to drop anytime soon, due to the continued high demand for sweets worldwide. The lesson learned: while it's still reasonable, stock up. If stored properly, sugar bags can last for years. Candy and chocolate can be frozen to prolong their shelf life. Because that one sweet indulgence could be more important than you think when things are tight and stress levels are high. This is a wider narrative than most people think. So let's finish the sugar story. The price of cocoa and sugar has sharply increased globally, while U.S. imports maintain domestic prices above the global average. When you factor in the expenses of shipping and packaging, that straightforward box of cookies or bag of sugar quickly consumes a sizable portion of your money. But the worst part is that even in hard times, people continue to purchase sweets. Although they might move to less expensive brands, demand is still high. This implies that your favorite candy bar may still be available during shortages, but at a price that makes you think twice. Or it may be harder to find around holidays like Halloween or Christmas when everyone is scurrying to buy at once. Stock up on extras now if you bake, sweeten your coffee, or simply need a little sugar boost occasionally. If kept dry, white sugar keeps forever. It is simple to rotate chocolate bars, hard candies, and cocoa powder. These are comfort goods, little morale boosters that can make difficult times feel a little more normal, not just luxuries. In summary, sugar and sweets will be among the first comfort foods to increase in price or go out of business completely during a scarcity. Keeping a little more on hand today is an inexpensive way to protect your taste buds and your sanity. Let's now discuss something that practically no one thinks about until it's too late. Grab-and-go snacks, which are tiny packages that can save a life. Granola bars, protein bars, crackers, or those tiny single-serve snack packs. Call them what you like. They are any pantry's unsung heroes.